Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Alana, and I'm going to show you today how I make candied jalapeno peppers, otherwise known as cowboy candy. And they're really good on cream cheese and crackers, good on nachos, tacos, fajitas, anything like that. Chopped up in macaroni salad, potato salad, coleslaw. I like mine on pizza, hot dogs, anything. So the original recipe comes from foodie.com, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. And I've tweaked it a little bit, so I'll leave that original one below. So let's get started. This recipe calls for 3 pounds of jalapenos. Now I have cut the stem off and then I weighed them, so that is 3 pounds right there. I have a few different colors of jalapeno peppers. These ones are just more mature, that they're starting to go red. Apparently I'm not a jalapeno expert at all, but apparently as they mature they go red and the taste is supposed to be better, maybe a little bit more fruity. You see these lines right here? This is called corking, and apparently that's a sign of a mature pepper, as the skin starts to split when the fruit on the inside grows. So that does not affect the quality or the taste. It's just a natural part of aging for the pepper, as I've read. So these peppers have been washed and I've taken the top off. If you want to have a less hot pepper, you can take the seeds out, but I want to keep mine in. And I'm just going to be slicing these up with mismatched gloves. I don't have two matching gloves, and I am very much of a wimp when it comes to heat, so I will be using gloves. So you want these rings to about 1/4 inch thickness. Now, because I'm going to be canning this recipe, I've got my water bath canner here, and there's water in it. The water's warm. I have my stock pot for the brine, and then the ingredients for the cowboy candy. I have 3 pounds of jalapeno peppers here, and then we have 5 cups of granulated sugar, and 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to set the stove top to about medium high and pour in the apple cider vinegar. So again, that was 2 cups, 5 cups of granulated sugar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And I know that sounds like a lot of sugar, but it is a candied jalapeno recipe, so the brine is kind of syrupy, but it's really good. So we're just going to let that sugar melt, and we're going to let it come to a boil. The brine is just starting to come to a boil, so I'm just going to turn this heat down to about number 4. All right, I've got that brine coming to a full rolling boil. I'm going to add the jalapeno pepper slices in. So I have my stove top set to about number 4, and we're just going to let this come back up to a full rolling boil. You don't want to pack your jalapeno peppers raw pack into the jars and then add the syrup, because we want these jalapeno peppers to shrink a little bit and get some of the air out. Otherwise, you're just going to have a few peppers in the jar and mostly syrup. So we'll just let that come back to a full rolling boil. And every once in a while, give them a stir. Okay, the brine has come to a boil, and I'm just going to set my timer for 5 minutes. In the meantime, while those pepper rings simmer in that brine, I'm just going to show you what I need for canning these peppers. You don't have to can them. You can just fill your jars and put them in the refrigerator, and they'll be good for about 2 to 3 months. But since I'm going to can them, I've got my jars, I've got my rings and lids. These inserts are new, and I've washed and dried those. These have just been washed and dried. No need to sterilize them anymore, since the processing time is going to be 10 minutes. They will be sterilized in the canning pot. I have my jar funnel, my jar lifter, I've got a ladle for the brine, I've got a slotted spoon to transfer the rings into the jars, and a wooden chopstick to debubble the jar. Try not to use something that's metal, because it could chip your jars. I've also checked the rims for chipping or cracks, because we don't want any breakage in the canner, and also we don't want to have any jars not seal on us. I have a tea towel to put the hot jars from the canner onto the counter, and I have a clean cloth that I'm going to wipe the rim of the jar before I put the lid on. So I like to can these in the half pint jars or even the quarter pints because we don't go through them a lot, but feel free to put them in pint jars. And I'm probably going to need about 9 pints. I always wash extra just in case because I'd rather not have to be scrambling to wash another jar while I'm trying to fill them. So my timer went off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up these jars using my slotted spoon because I just want the jalapeno peppers in here right now, because this brine is actually going to go back onto the stove to thicken up a little bit. Just kind of pack them down a little bit, not too tight. So I want to fill the peppers to the 1/2 inch headspace mark, and if you don't have a headspace tool, the bottom ring of your jar is 1 inch headspace, the middle one is 1/2 inch, and the top is 1/4. So the jars are all filled, so I'm going to return this back to the heat and turn it to about number 6. We're going to let this come to a boil and let it simmer for about 5 to 6 minutes until the brine is a little bit thicker. I also ended up using 7 jars instead of 9, I think, because some of the peppers were a little bit bigger. Now that it's back up to a boil, I'm going to set the timer for about 6 minutes. All right, the timer's gone off, and I'm just going to move this here. So I'll fill the jars up with the brine to a 1/2 inch headspace. I'm going to debubble with my chopstick. And then readjust the headspace. So that's the correct amount of headspace. So now we're going to wipe the rim and add the lid. So using a clean wet cloth, you're going to wipe any debris away from the lid. If there's any like a little seed or piece of jalapeno pepper on the rim, it may not seal. We want to make sure that ring is finger tight. We don't want it too tight that the air can't escape that may be left in the jar, and we don't want it too loose that the lid will come off. So use this, and we're just going to put it in the canner while we do the other ones. It's important to get the headspace correct as well, because if you have left too much headspace, the processing time may not be enough to drive any air that may be trapped in the jar out if you leave too much headspace, and not enough headspace, and you may get siphoning, so that's liquid loss in the jar during the processing time. And the last one to go into the canner. I'll turn this up to high. We want to bring this water to a full rolling boil, and we want the water to be at least 1 to 2 inches above the tops of the jar lids, and we are going to put the lid on this canner. Once this comes to a full rolling boil, we'll set the timer for 10 minutes, and that will be the processing time. This has come to a full rolling boil, so I'll set the timer for 10 minutes and then come back to it. So our timer just went off, and I'm going to shut the heat to the stove off and the timer, and I'm just going to let that settle down for about 5 minutes. I've moved it over to the cool element on the stove top, and I'm just going to let this sit again for about 10 minutes. If I took those jars out of the canner right now, there would be way too much of a temperature change and change in atmospheric pressure that the liquid could come siphoning out of the jars before they're sealed. I'm just going to take them out of the canner, and if there's water on top of that lid, don't tilt it off. Just leave it there, and we'll place the jars on the tea towel. So what you want to do is you want to leave your jars sitting on the counter for about 12 to 24 hours and don't touch them. Don't tighten the screw bands, don't do anything. Don't tilt that liquid off of the lid. Just leave them undisturbed, and after about 12 to 24 hours, usually I just leave mine overnight, check to see if they've sealed. If they haven't sealed, store them in the refrigerator. If your jar is all sealed, what you want to do is remove the screw band and then wash off your jar just in case there's any stickiness there. You don't want to store them in a cupboard like that. Don't submerge your jars in water, just use a cloth and running water to clean them off. And then you will label and date your jar and then store them in a cool, dark place, such as your pantry shelves or a cupboard. So that's it. Those are the steps to making candied jalapenos at home. You want to leave these for about 2 to 3 weeks, just so that the flavors all blend together. And you may notice that your jalapenos look shriveled in the jar. That's normal because they'll plump up after about 2 to 3 weeks, and they will look like this. So that's it. So let me know how you make out in the comments if you try them, and I hope you love them as much as we do. And I'm glad you came along with me today. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing. It really helps my channel. And I'll see you again next time.